What's up? I'm MTVJesse. Check me out on the Bootleg Kev podcast.
All right, Bootleg Kev podcast, man. Special guest here, welcoming back my guy Jesse, aka MTVJesse, aka Bloody Sunday Jesse, Sunday, etc. On and on and on. You're looking like you lost like a whole one of yourselves with this weight loss and this transformation. You look good, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Because obviously a couple years ago you had kind of like dived in on like just like redirecting your life in terms of like getting clean off of alcohol, because you were, you recognized you had some sort of problem with alcohol, however severe or not severe it might have been.
Yeah.
It feels like you've dived all the way in on like kind of a lifestyle change in terms of fitness, and I always see you sparring and you're just always sweating and
I'm
shirtless, sweating and shirtless.
Yeah.
But well, first of all, obviously, what sparked that, and how long has the journey been for you, where you really like are very consistent? Because you could start. Most people start and stop, start and stop, start and stop.
Yeah.
The consistency is important.
I think that was the big change, is because I was that guy. I mean, I've lost 30 to 50 pounds like 10 times in my life.
Right.
And I fucking got sick and tired of being that guy.
Likewise.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
fucking annoying. I mean, even just this last week that went by, I went on the scale after like my dad was down and like whatever, and I'm like 7 pounds heavier, and I just cold stop. I was like, yo, you're not that guy. Like, you're not bouncing back to being like fucking.
Yeah, because you could slip into it.
Dude, so quick.
Yep.
And I think it's when you stop, say like for me, I weigh myself every Monday, and I'm like, it's the second you're like, nah, I know I'm heavier this week, so I'm going to weigh myself next Monday. I think that's
You gotta hold
dangerous.
yourself accountable.
Yeah, go weigh yourself, look at it, write it down, and then be like, get back. Like,
And also weigh yourself at night. Because if you weigh yourself in the
fuck
morning.
that. I can't do. I'm naked.
You're naked.
I try to take as many
As soon
pisses
as you
as I
wake
can.
up and you're naked, you're like, I don't know why it is. If you weigh yourself, like right when you wake up, you weigh way less.
Oh yeah,
That's
it's
the thing.
crazy. You look even better.
You
when
do.
get
I know.
out of
You'll be
bed.
like, damn. Like my food processed. I don't have a food baby right now.
I even make sure after my shower I'm like fully dry.
Yeah.
I can't have wet hair.
Yeah,
It's
because
gonna
it's a
affect
little
it.
extra weight.
Yeah.
Damn.
I
And
shave
then-
my pubes. I fucking.
Just listen. It all counts. He said my pubes are going down the. Do you shave your pubes over the toilet, or in a trash bag?
Let me think. It's been a minute actually, because that was a joke. Let me think.
Well, I mean, I gotta ask.
I think over a toilet.
You got to do over the toilet.
Yeah.
You don't want to be the guy shaving your pubes over the trash and then like.
Well, yeah.
you know.
Wait.
I have a wife.
Yeah,
and
over the
kid.
toilet. Someone does it over the trash. I don't think I've ever done that.
I think some people have done that. Actually,
You gotta
yes.
flush it.
My co-host's little brother did that. They share a place
Oh,
on my
no.
radio show, and he talked about how his little brother shaved his pubes, and it was all over the side of the trash can, and
You got to clean up after too, because it's always around the toilet seat. You got to do the little.
you got to
like,
do it. 'cause
Wet
there's
the
those little
paper towel.
Yep. You got to get the. It's almost like a paper towel is more stickier than you imagine when you're cleaning pubes off of a toilet seat.
Yeah, it grabs them.
It grabs them, man.
Yeah.
It does. Nah, it's dope to see everything going on with you, man. Obviously, the last time you were on the show was like not too far after we launched the show. I mean, it was maybe like 4 or 5 months after we launched the podcast.
Yeah, it's been a minute, man.
It's been a minute. That was like kind of right after you had, not right after you had left NELK, but I guess you had kind of broken your silence. It was right after you dropped the first YouTube video
Kind of talking about
of the
it,
new like direction of content that you were doing.
Yeah.
And
I don't think I sold the company at that point though.
No, you did not.
was, like,
no,
in that
that is
process.
correct, because shortly after that, me and you had started collabing on some pranks.
Yeah.
We had
Some of the best, dude.
Some of the best.
Best episodes we ever did was with you.
I get stopped all the time.
Really?
And they're always like, dude, the prank with the guy who rapped like a bear and a koi fish and Simba, my boy, Simba, who's huge, at the time he was on the come up. He still is on the come up, but he's a lot bigger than he was then. He even brings that shit up to me. He'll be like, dude, that shit was crazy. Like people still ask me about that whole situation.
Really?
There was a Snow the Product one we did that for whatever reason,
I was with Steve, right?
it was with Steve, and for whatever reason, the like real version of that prank did not drop. I don't know.
Was it because it was? I think it was like we shot it as a NELK video.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
I don't know.
I
It's a
think
weird
you guys
time.
had shot something, and I think at that time that was like a situation where Steve was in it, and I think the real footage of that was supposed to possibly come out on NELK,
Yeah.
but We had like a kind of a diet version.
Oh, I think I know what happened. That was around, because like me and Kyle were kind of shooting our own things anyways.
Yeah.
It wasn't very public, but
Right.
like, yeah. So the idea was towing cars as a prank.
Yeah.
And so I went to you and we shot that. We brought Steve and we had a segment we were going to do for the video. But then I think they got sued or I think like the team got arrested for that prank.
I think that happened.
And then they couldn't upload the footage or they couldn't finish
so
the video.
there's like really dope footage of this Snow the Product prank that will never see the light of day.
Yeah.
But it was really good.
I got it on some drives probably.
She had like her Jeep was hooked onto a tow truck and she was trying to back out and the
yeah.
wheels were spinning and she's like freaking out. She has her girlfriend in the car and I think Steve was just saying the most disrespectful, sexist shit to this girl. It was hilarious. It was so funny.
Prime Steve will do it time.
He was like talking about like, I know girls can't drive. I mean, you're a woman.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
It was peak Steve will do it.
Man, we can't let you drive because you're a woman.
100%. It was it was good, man. That's what I was gonna say, man. Recently, obviously, it was so awesome to see. Obviously, the long way everybody ever since the Full Send podcast launched was waiting on you to go on there. So it was dope to see you guys chat and kind of talk about the good old days and some of the early pranks that you guys had, and then they kind of
You gave it a listen.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing. Yeah,
Nice,
I think
nice.
the day it dropped. And then I watched the New York one where you guys were security guards.
Oh yeah.
It just was like nostalgic.
I get a lot of people have hit me up since that video and been like, yeah, it was like the perfect nostalgic thing to do together that like brought back because a lot of people I think they got brought into NELK because of that Coachella video we did. Mm-hmm. So it was like their like first fucking thing they seen, so they were just stoked to see that.
Yeah, I think that's what I miss you guys. I just miss that kind of content because it doesn't really exist anymore, and I don't think Kyle's focused on making that kind of shit anymore. And so it was just dope to see. You know what I mean?
Feeding off each other, kind of.
Yeah, he just I just think some of you guys' pranks were just some of the best shit. Like you guys would really like, whether it's you and Steve. Obviously, Steve's face. I don't even think it'd be shown anywhere on YouTube, from what I've heard. Right?
Not even his hand, man. It's fucking sad.
Not even his hand.
Apparently, I heard that. Yeah, it was somebody doing a podcast with him or something,
and he'd be off camera.
And like. Or that's what it was. I think he did the Donald Trump one or something happened and his hand was in it and they were like flagging it. And it was what? It's fucking bonkers, dude.
That poor guy, man.
Dude.
I really feel bad for him because like
I do too.
He
gets
seems
a lot of
like
happiness
such
from
a
that.
sweet dude.
Yeah, dude.
And he was doing so much he was doing some like pushing the limit type shit, but he also was giving away so much money to like random families. Like I remember he had that random lady he was taking on the road with him everywhere, the black chick. Like I always thought, I miss him on YouTube. I haven't checked him out on Rumble to see if the pranks or the videos are still of the quality that they were. But
when you're deplatformed, it's hard to, I don't know. Like, yeah. I think it was because it was his like audio, but then they were like, oh, he's not in it. And then they said no. Like, I think they used like his hand being in it. I could be fucking wrong, but I remember hearing that somewhere. But
well, how good did it feel for you to kind of give the fans some transparency, and
so good. Yeah.
I bet, right?
Fucking, because it was a long time coming. I remember we shot a video on the Sunday channel, like driving up to the house to go do it.
Yeah.
And they were just flogging me, like the team. And I said this like thing, and it's so true. I was like, I'm so glad that this is the fucking Full Send podcast that we're gonna do, where we're like, we're cool and we're like we're in good terms, me and Kyle,
Yeah.
and like. Not that we were in bad terms, but like it was definitely we went through.
It was
a big
awkward.
deal. Yeah, it was a fucking thing, and
Yeah.
I didn't want it to be some fucking mess
Yeah.
on the internet. Like you see a lot of people who are in this social media game, and it's like they almost ride it as like, oh, this will get views. It's like, I don't want any of that.
We could
shit.
use this for views.
Yeah. And neither of us, like even him, like we both were like, this is some business shit. We're gonna figure this out, and then I don't know, we did, and now we're cool. It's like, I think it's a mix of like reconnecting with him personally for me, but reconnecting with the whole team, shooting a prank again, doing the podcast, being able to like actually say how it is to all my audience and their audience and our old fans, and like, dude, it just feels like it literally felt like a weight off my back.
Bet,
it was like, because like, it's like drinking and lifestyle and friends and everything that I fixed in my life, there was like that one thing that I was like needing to knock off the fucking list.
Right.
And it just feels like it's done now.
Yeah, and I think it's cool too because now you guys can like. I feel like you guys were purposely kind of like, you know. I think Kyle did a good job of not speaking too much on it, and I think even I heard in an interview or somewhere he had said, "I don't really want to dive into it until I talk with Jesse on the podcast."
100%. Yeah,
that's the fans deserve that. You know what I mean?
I think it was that Money Buys Happiness podcast. He like, because I watched that and I was like, oh fuck, I guess this is where it's all coming out. And then he was just like, he's always just been respectful that way. And I'm like, that's why I've treated him the same way.
100%. Yeah, I think it's dope just to see that, man. And like you said, the fans get a little closure because you guys share fans. I mean, obviously, you are, when I think of NELK Boys, I think of you and him. That's what I think of. And Steve, to an extent, and Salim, you know. But it's dope, man. For you, though, like, have you gotten the itch to, like, kind of, you know, maybe pop in a video here and there, you know? Like,
yeah. So Kyle hit me up and was like, after we shot that, obviously, like, the fans were cool with it. Like, everyone liked it. Yeah. And he was just like, dude, I'm just going to let you know every time we're shooting a video what we're doing.
Like, and if you want to get down?
Yeah, pop into whatever you want. So, yeah, that's
dope.
I haven't shot anything else since that, but because obviously I'm like pretty locked into a fucking schedule with what I'm building.
The new clothes.
The new clothes.
The new brand. So many things. I wouldn't even call it a clothing brand. It's just a brand.
Yeah,
you guys,
it's a lot of things.
I saw an Xbox.
Yeah, that shit was sexy.
Super crazy. Yeah, the craziest Xbox I've ever seen. This shit. Would you guys have to take it apart, paint it, or did somebody do it for you?
Yeah, I had to go through like a middleman company to buy the Xboxes, and then
they did it,
design them ourselves, and then we got them to like do it to them. But we're doing the same thing with because we have a '90s drop coming out, and we're doing 10 Game Boy Colors.
Oh,
so it's kind of sick. It's like Game Boy Color, but in our color. It's gonna be sick.
That's great. So for you now, you just kind of have the option whenever you want to film. Hey, I want to do the Bigfoot thing, or yeah.
Which is like I never didn't want to do pranks. That's why I did Shithole. That's why I did it.
It's like when you were doing Shithole, you did some great shit. Like, you had the old man that I just saw at a random restaurant in the Valley. Oh, Eden Park in Burbank. I was there with my parents, and I saw that old dude who was like,
"Oh, Gramps." Yeah,
Gramps. And I was just like, "That's the dude."
Well, he's like a straight up actor.
Yeah, I mean,
I see him in tons of shit.
He's a great fucking actor. But yeah, no, I saw him, and I was like, "That's the fucking old man from the fucking the Jesse videos." Yeah. I mean, Shithole was dope. I mean, for you at the moment, documenting kind of the new, what Sunday is, right? The brand you've been putting so much into, so much work into. I told you off camera, I was like, it's crazy because I kind of feel like I've just been watching this thing since like incubation just come alive on YouTube, and now you're obviously having success. You had the pop-up shop. Melrose. It feels like everything's just flying. I mean, you know, you drop and it sells out. And for you, like, I guess what is you have so much going on. You train, you're working out, you got the brand, you're shooting vlogs, content, all of that. What is kind of like your, like, most of your energy going into, because you also eventually want to kind of help do stuff for other brands, right?
Yeah, we're currently already doing that right now.
Oh, dope.
Just we slowed down at the start, like you were saying. You seen it feels like you like know Sunday from the start. You can like feel how the whole operation works. We got like, I've said this before, but like that's why we got so much hate on it, because it was like we were so transparent that we like didn't even know what the fucking company was. Like we were figuring it out, and people were seeing us figure it out, which again I think long term is paying off, because now people are like, whoa, now I understand all the moving parts. But the only thing with the working for other people and designing their shit is it is super complicated, unless if you do 6 out of 10 things for that company and they commission you to do that, but then they fuck up the other 4 and it doesn't sell or it doesn't work,
and it's not on you.
Want to blame you for not working, and you're like, well, you didn't know how to market, or you didn't know how to, whatever it was.
Whatever it is, yeah.
So I think the key is coming in, and in the future, it'll be like venture studio absorbing companies, like taking half their company small that we believe in, and so that we care about it. And then helping
build them up.
Yeah, and we can do everything for them. But
like if you kind of become a partner and you make it vertical, fully vertical.
And don't do too many of them. Just like
true. Yeah, don't take on too much, because then you're gonna. I mean, everything gets watered down if you're gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Yo, it's crazy because I remember the way you were talking about like the blank and how important it was to find the right blank.
Yeah.
And Like what? Like did you guys have to? Because there's so many blanks out there. There's like Los Angeles Apparel and is LA Apparel the big thick one that I like? Pause. Super pause. Yeah. But like for you
Hanes,
guys,
Gillidan, all these
all
American
that, right?
Apparel.
So like, how did you find the blank, or did you create the blank?
Everything's created, so everything we sell is completely custom. But it's I would say it's a Frankenstein of a bunch of different shirts. So like for that T-shirt, it was like it has a little bit of an Acne Studios blank. It like that's where the boxy fit came. The fabric was like some shirts that we liked, but it was also came down to just Tyler, who's part of our sourcing team.
Yeah.
He knows every single fabric. We go feel fabrics. Like we sampled that shirt like 12 times. So it just kept Frankensteining until we were like, this is the perfect shirt at a perfect price point. And
Do you go to China to feel fabrics? Just curious.
I haven't yet. No.
Feels like
he is our like connection to that.
He's the guy who's got the Chinese plugs.
Yeah. But we're also doing a lot of shit domestically too. We're trying to as much as we can.
I mean, that's dope. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you don't have to outsource and you can support some American companies, why wouldn't you?
No, 100%. And you
Or
can,
North American companies, because shout out to Canada.
Yeah.
We're all in this together, you know? And Mexico.
100%.
Nah, it's just dope to see, man. For you, like, have you felt, because I can only imagine when you're a part of something so big like you were, and you voluntarily walk away, while trying to build your own shit, there has to be some time, whether it's subconscious or not, and I don't really take you as the type of person to like second guess yourself, but you can't help but be like a normal human being who goes through normal human emotions. Was there ever any point in time where you know, either one, second guess leaving NELK, or two, did you feel like it was just a really hard uphill battle to try to get over kind of being Jesse from the NELK Boys as opposed to being Jesse from Shithole, Jesse from Sunday? Like,
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of two big parts. Obviously, it was like such a long thing to do. So it wasn't, I obviously had the feeling of like, should I do this? Should I not? Because it went on for 2 years. You know what I mean? So it did happen.
And while that break happened, this Happy Dad thing's going fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
And you owned a piece of Happy Dad, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're obviously, I mean, Happy Dad is fucking everywhere. It almost feels like it's like bigger than anything now that those guys are a part of. So I can only imagine, like you said, like you're kind of like, damn, like I think that's just a human nature thing to just be like, not to say necessarily second guessing yourself, but definitely like kind of assessing what's going on. Like, did I make the right move? And obviously you're in the middle of negotiating a buyout, I'm assuming.
Yeah. And I don't know how much I can talk on it, but that, like, Happy Dad, Full Send, NELK, everything that was happening in that time, everything was being negotiated. So it was like, there was a point where it was like, is this like leaving everything, or is this leaving some, or what does this deal look like? And fucking, so that's why it was so big, right?
Yeah,
because obviously Happy Dad's massive. It's like,
massive.
And I think, walking away with Happy Dad is massive and secure for me. So
wait, do you still own a piece of Happy Dad?
Yeah.
Lay it down.
Yeah, we're sleeping good now. We're good. So
well, I know who to ask to borrow money for any sort of clothing venture or venture in general, or if I want to go get tugged off somewhere, I just say, Jesse, cash at me 80. You got it, bud. That's crazy.
There's a podcast clip of me talking about that already, where I like said about, I don't know, it like went viral as it's like, viral, like a couple million views, but of me talking about how I sold the company, but I kept Happy Dad. And it was so funny how that was connected to so many people that I could tell saw that and called me and started pitching me all their ventures. And I'm like, I'm not that rich, bro. Like, chill out.
Also, like, dude, fuck off. Like,
that too.
Like, I know you saw the YouTube short and all, but like, go fuck yourself. Like,
everyone wants to go for lunch all of a sudden. You're like,
are you pretty like involved, or you just kind of
no, completely disconnected? Just own shares.
Get your check.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, man. Yeah, it's funny that you don't drink anymore, but you own one of the biggest seltzer brands in the world.
It's wild. And then I've never tried it. That's fucking even more wild.
Yo.
I know.
That's wild. Because you had already left. Because I remember watching them go and do the tasting, and you weren't there.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Sick. That's so
It's fucking weird. Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, I own something I've never tried. So you're like, yo, that's crazy. Have you had any... And you know, like I think that you spoke about it. I don't think you ever were like the type of alcoholic in which like my uncle or some of my family members are, where like you're like physically dependent on alcohol to get through your day, and if you were to get off of it, you go through withdrawals and maybe end up in the hospital. But you were drinking a lot, you were partying a lot. It was your lifestyle. Have you gotten to any sort of point where you were vulnerable, where you thought about having a drink at all?
Yeah, definitely. Not in a negative way. More
right.
like
I'm not saying, that's why I didn't want like people to think you're like relapsing, because I don't think that like I don't look at you as like the guy who's like, I'm sober 3 years, bro. Like I got my chip. I'm going to meetings.
I don't even say sober anymore because I mean,
there's also
you just
like
don't drink. I just don't drink.
Yeah.
And honestly, I literally only did it because my mom said to me one time, she was like, "You don't want to be the guy that can't have a beer," and I knew that it was more of a lifestyle change.
Yeah.
I just had to get out of that lifestyle where that was a part of my fucking job every day. And I think that I've accomplished that, and I feel healthier and all this shit. So it's been crossing my mind, just like how long it's weird. It's like it's such a streak now that it's like weird to break that seal.
Like,
and to be honest, I'm a little worried about how it'll make me feel. Like, because the last time I had like a couple drinks, I like made my head all fucked up. I don't know. It screwed me up. So like the very last time I drank. So I don't know. It actually like scares me a bit to have a drink, but maybe that's good.
Do you miss like beer the most?
Honestly, maybe a cold beer, but maybe it's just like going out for dinner and having a glass of wine, feeling a little loose.
Yeah, like a little like social drink, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense. I guess if you were gonna break the streak, you should break it for the company that you're part owner of.
Yeah, I would definitely have a Happy Dad. Yeah, for sure.
The best flavor, by the way, fruit punch, and I don't even think it's close. I think it's fruit punch, and then I think it's the Death Road grape.
I heard a lot of people saying that grape one's great.
And then it's I'm not going to lie. The first like pack that dropped, I think I only liked one of them.
Really?
I think I haven't had the banana one, but I do love fruit punch is fire.
Really?
Yeah, fruit punch. If you're going to break the streak, you got to go fruit punch.
Oh, I got to send you a case here, man. I didn't know you drink it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get you some.
I opened a nightclub in Scottsdale, and
really?
we carry Happy Dad.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's a hip hop club. Obviously, it's not like the Scottsdale spots you guys usually go to that have Happy Dad, but we are cracking. We just had the Baby. We just had Sexy Red. It's lit, but we do have Happy Dad. We carry Happy Dad. So I've tried them all. But I think we keep the grape in stock, the grape and fruit punch.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how many fucking stores and clubs and locations.
Dude, it's crazy because it's everywhere. Because I mean, I'm sure as you know, like when you guys, and you weren't necessarily heavily involved, but you know, it is your company, part of it. Mm-hmm. And when Happy Dad first dropped, it was like a real mission to find it. Yeah. Like if you found, I remember the liquor store would be like, dude, we can't we'd get like 20 cases in and they sell like right away to like one guy.
Yeah.
And it was like, what the fuck?
I'm sure that was all designed by Kyle. Like that's where he's a genius. Like he just created the demand right away.
Yeah.
Made it limitless. It's almost like a drop style alcohol.
Well, that's what they were doing.
Yeah.
Where it'd be like, hey, this location in Orange County is getting
1,000 kids outside of there. Not kids, but 21
21-year-olds, man. 21-year-olds, of course.
I'm gonna have to be annoying and take a piss real quick.
Go take a piss. You want to walk them over to take a piss?
Sorry about that, man.
No, you're good. Yo, what up, guys? We got to stop the interview to tell you about our folks at MyBookie. It's winning season right now. NFL, we're in the thick of it. I've been doing really good on my NFL bets, by the way. Plus, NBA officially back. We got playoff baseball. It's going crazy, especially if you like to throw down some of that money and do a little gambling. You got to head over to MyBookie. This was dope about MyBookie. It doesn't matter if your team sucks. My team, the Cardinals, they're trash. Don't matter. I'm still winning on Sundays, baby, all right, at MyBookie. All right, you can use MyBookie for your daily odd boosts, same game parlays, and take advantage of the crazy huge prize pool contest. Plus, right now, MyBookie has a no strings attached. That's the important thing. No strings attached cash bonus that lets you deposit and withdraw quick. That's free cash. No strings attached. Deposit, take it out, and then go about your day. Or get in on some of this NFL and NBA action, baby, all right? Just use the promo code BOOTLEG when you sign up. Go to mybookie.ag, use the promo code BOOTLEG on your first deposit, and you'll receive up to $200 in cash. What are we talking about? No strings attached. What? MyBookie, use the promo code BOOTLEG, all right? Maybe you want to gamble on some NFL. Maybe you want to get in on some of this early NBA action. Maybe you want to get in on some of this playoff baseball. It's really on you. Use the promo code BOOTLEG and receive up to $200 in cash. That's right. Try MyBookie right now. Use that promo code BOOTLEG, and you can grab, how about this, man? There's some crazy odds going on. And I like this one because what you can do is you can throw down on a potential Super Bowl front runner and plus 38,000 on the Eagles and Chiefs on the Super Bowl, plus 38,000. If you put $100, you win $38,000. You're not going to get those odds anywhere. MyBookie.ag. Use the promo code BOOTLEG right now. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. Only with MyBookie. Plus, we got to give a big shout out to our family at King Palm. Man, we love King Palm over here on the Bootleg Kev podcast. This is what's great about King Palm. First of all, it's all about that organic, no tobacco leaf. This thing right here is a boy. Look at that. Sure. That's just a leaf right there. King Palm, they got everything you need, man. They got these cones with the squeeze and pop, terpenes in them, the flavors. This right here is the dragon fruit. We got the grape HD, the watermelon wave, so many flavors. What's dope about King Palm, if you're in whatever city you're in, you could find King Palm at your local smoke shop, your local 7-Eleven, all right? I'm telling you, King Palm, you're not going to ever experience a more cleaner, more natural, more just great way to smoke what you're smoking, all right? You stuff one of these boys up with some flour, and you're off to the races. I'm telling you, you hit the tip, you get hit with that flavor, and it's nothing like it. The squeeze and pop on King Palm is insane, all right? And they got all size cones, all right? So go to King Palm, man. Organic tobacco-free leaves of all sizes. Like this is look, we're talking about all sizes here. What are we talking about? What are we talking about here, boys? All right, go to kingpalm.com right now. You go order whatever you want, man. They got accessories. They got trays. They got grinders. They got ashtrays. They got all kind of flavors of their leaves. Everything. 50% off when you use the promo code BOOTLEG. That's 50% off. Order whatever you want at kingpalm.com. Let's get back to the interview. All right, we're back. All right.
My bad.
The piss has commenced. Mm-hmm. Piss has commenced. I think we were talking a little bit just kind of about like the process. Obviously, shout out to Happy Dad. If you were to have a drink, we'd establish that it would be a Happy Dad. You got to try your own shit.
100%.
I always wonder when you own a company like that, because like I'm part owner of a nightclub. I have certain like ways I get paid out. Do you get paid out quarterly? Do you get paid out yearly? Is it biannually? Like,
I think it's yearly, but it's mostly, I don't even know how that all I haven't dove into it too much, but it's more of just like that shit sells one day. That's more.
Which I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
You're banking on the sell because the sell's got to be coming eventually, even if it's like not anytime soon. Like, it feels like the goal if you're like an up and coming alcohol company is to get it super popping and then sell to like a Bacardi or like one of these big dogs that Anheuser-Busch or something and just cash the fuck out.
I have a feeling that was the motion. I don't want to speak for anyone, but I think they're seeing how well of a job they're doing it, and they're like, maybe this is a 10-year plan. Maybe this is like they're gonna go for it. They're gonna try to be like Budweiser or like.
I get it. I mean, or white. What's the other one? White Claw.
White Claw. Right?
Yeah. I mean, they are taking that market share for 100%. Sure, man. For you, man, tell me like, what are your relationships like? Like, how often do you talk with a guy like Steve these days?
Pretty slim with Steve. He'll text me or DM me like a sentence every once in a while, and then I'll be like something just out of the box, random, and then I'll hit him back and be like, "What's up, buddy?" And then not much.
Like when he got like deplatformed, do you like feel inclined to like reach out and like see if he's okay? Because I feel like
for sure.
As someone with a YouTube channel, and I see certain people's channels just getting demonetized or deleted, I don't even know what I would do, man. Like, it'd be heartbreaking.
Well, for him, it's like it's not even because of financial, really. I think it's more just he loved, like, dude, he literally did love doing that. Like, he loves doing shit for people and giving to people. And I think that the show that he was doing gave him a purpose to keep doing that. And I think he just loved being a YouTuber and a creator. Like, and I'm sure that's a toll, man. When someone takes that away from you, it fucking sucks. So I do feel for him, man.
For sure, man.
Definitely sucks.
Talk to me about, for you, like the Sunday thing. What is because there had to be a few names in the running for your new brand. Mm-hmm. Give me kind of a few of the other names that almost made it, and why did you end up kind of landing on Sunday?
Other names, I honestly don't think there was.
There wasn't anything that you were like, you know what, let's put that on the whiteboard because I like it. Just put it down there just because I want to see it.
Well, it starts with Bloody Sunday, which I've had for a while. It's also got my own little personal meaning that I don't make public, but then it's kind of like when I think it was like Facebook was called like the Facebook, and then they like slimmed it up. So like Bloody Sunday being the streetwear brand, which started as shoes that I worked on for like 5 years, just as a hobby. I just was
and like you had dropped backpacks like a year and a half ago. There was
just
like
real high end, like looking. I just like making shit, so I was just making shit for the homies. But Sunday, it really hit me that one time with like, I don't know if I've already explained this or if you know this already, but the whole idea of, I like to look at life as like chapters a bit, and Sunday is like this chapter that I'm on, and it kind of felt like NELK was a Friday night, the vibe of a Friday night. Yeah. Saturday was full send, it's like keep going, and then Sunday was like everything you just think and feel when you think of Sunday is like what we represent and what I represent and what I'm trying to build it into is just like that like relaxing, but it's like a little like a tempo down, you know what I mean? But it's also like, I don't know. I'm gonna butcher explaining this, but it's just I know what it means to me, and I know it makes sense.
Well, you guys like really mastered somehow the culture that you created and turning it into like an exclusive brand that was kind of like a Supreme, if you will. Mm-hmm. When certain drops would, like, I think you guys would drop with Full Send, was it every month? Almost?
Yeah, monthly.
It was like a monthly drop, and like I'm assuming that you guys had opportunities to make it not so exclusive and ended up in a Tilly's or a Zoomies or something. And I'm assuming you guys probably were smart enough to be like, no, we like what we're doing. It keeps our brand super exclusive. We don't want to whore it out. Yeah. For you, is that something you want to kind of carry over with Sunday? Like, because it feels super exclusive. Like, it's almost like this is going to get made, and if you don't get it, you're never going to get it because it's not getting made ever again.
100%. That's the only business model I know for creating brands and what I'm good at. But I don't want to create something that's also like 15-year-old me can't be a part of because I missed the drop or it's too expensive. So I'm keeping that in mind, and that's where there's a lot of different lanes that we're building out that like, that's why I think it's like so smart with Sunday being the catalog, dropping in the color. Mm-hmm. And then that enters that piece into the catalog. It like now we can use that to design for years going forward. But the idea that drops in the green and that's Sunday and that's always the most limited, it happened with our last drop. Every Sunday SKU sold out in like a minute, under a minute. And I think that then Sunday can kind of become that, special, limited, never happens again. Bloody Sunday can be just as special, but
a little easier to get.
A little easier to get, and then it's not like out yet, but I've been working in the background I'm trying to make up another brand that's like a sister brand that's in the company, same culture, same designers, everything, but it isn't, it's a little inexpensive. It's like, and I'm working on it with possibly like a Tilly's or a Zoomies. And
so that would be something.
Yeah, but it's a brand for it. It's called, and we were literally, because we were talking, we were like, what about can't afford this? What about can't? And we were like the everyday kid that I was going sitting at the skate shop, and I'm like, I want to create a brand that's just as cool and you can feel a part of the party, but it's not about always just like selling out and limited and, high margins. It's like everyday brand but still as the culture of what we are,
Yeah, and like you're very good at like creating like that's why I said earlier, it's not a clothing brand, because you've always been really good at just kind of just having just shit. Like if you want a fucking flag, or you want, I mean, what is this, a lanyard?
Yeah.
Like a lanyard, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't
Yeah.
always have to be like hats and shirts and shit. Like
No.
it kind of like
Well, that's what fascinates me though. Like I love how
finding new shit. Like what if
Dude,
we did
yeah.
our version of this?
like why can't we make our own mics? Why can't we make our like how when you find out that like how that shit's made, what is the minimum order, like what can you customize on this? That's why the Sunday brand's so fun, because everything has to be in the color.
Yep.
So when you look at like a mic like this, there's
like,
like
how do we take this
styrofoam,
apart?
wood,
Yeah.
steel,
Yeah.
like then if you want to change the steel, you got to hit 10,000 MOQ. It's like fucking I don't know. I find all that, the logistics of it, super interesting.
Damn.
But I don't know if I answered anything you asked.
No, that sounds
but
great. No, I just feel like it's dope to kind of, because like you've done such a good job of like building brands. You know, obviously I give you a lot of credit and Kyle a lot of credit for the NELK shit, but I feel like just the clothing shit I knew when you had initially quote unquote broken off from filming, it was to focus on the clothing side and building out the merch more and shit. So I know that it's very, you know.
I think that's what flicked a bell for me is when that happened. And because I got to remember that when I was a kid, that's where it all started. It was skateboarding, filming skateboarding, and creating clothing. Like I was a kid selling clothes out of my locker, trying to make that work. And I just always loved it. And I think that just made me realize if at a point in my life I was unhappy, I'm like, this shit makes me happy. I could wake up every day and just work on like designing clothes and making products and
no, I think
the marketing of it.
Right. That's kind of like everyone's dream. Can I wake up every day and do what makes me happy and
Exactly.
get paid for it?
And it's silly to be like financially secure and then not do that. That's
Right.
where that was my my tipping point of just like, what am I doing? Like,
So one of my favorite parts of the NELK era was when your dad Pat would be in the videos, because I just think he's fucking sick. He just seems like a sick hang. I met him a couple of times. I met him when you were in the studio with Kasky.
yeah.
How involved? Do you have him involved? I mean, you said he was just out here for a few weeks. Is he involved with anything with the brand, or is he just dad at this point? Like
Just character, I think.
Yeah.
Like for one, I mean, I just bought a home, so it's been cool to have him down, and like I'm trying to make a real effort of how important that's going to be. Just being able to like work on my first house, and it's a fixer upper, so just like
great.
I used to do that when I was a kid with him, and I know that.
So he's like a contractor.
Yeah.
Or like he's like a
thinks he
handyman-ish.
is.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll the only problem with him is he's gonna find like the cheapest way to do everything.
Shout out. Yep, that sounds like me.
And I'm not trying to lose value on that home, so I'm trying to always push him. I'm like, nah, man. Like,
Yeah, we just do this the right way, Dad.
yeah, let's do it the right way.
Like
you know what I mean?
things are good right now. we don't have to cut corners.
But I definitely am carrying over the character when it comes to like the Sunday show and what we're doing. And I mean, I think we found that with NELK is just the father-son comedy. And
Dude,
even
it's great.
father-son being my dad being a father figure to like NELK.
Everybody.
Was what was so funny and also just like good for those guys. Like they've came to me and him numerous times when we were on those trips and was like, I don't know, whether it was like some don't talk to their dad a lot or have a close relationship. It's just like, it's good. I mean, I even get a lot of comments about that whenever they see like footage of me and my dad. And it's honestly like, dude, it's like the saddest shit when someone says like, I don't get to do that with my dad. So I look forward to those
it's dope
clips.
to watch those. Yeah.
Dude, yeah. That's like, you want to hit on my fucking heartstrings. That's like, dude, that's fucking, I don't know. That makes me want to shoot more content with him. If it's like,
I love his
special for
IG,
people.
man, especially when he's like in his little fold-up chair. He's in the garage. You know what I mean? Like,
Anytime I try to produce his shit, it's horrible. When I just say,
do what you do. You know how to work your phone. It always works, huh?
yeah, and he just makes like a Peaky Blinders set. I don't know if you saw that one.
Yeah, I saw it.
Peaky Blinders is no one's even talking about it. It happened 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's over. I had a little research. It's going to hit Netflix, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
But he watched it that week, so he's like Peaky Blinders set.
It's crazy because I'm sure you probably have heard from fans of what you did prior. You had to have heard from some people. Like, did you inspire anybody to quit drinking at all? Like,
Yeah, that was especially near the start of it all. I was having people like come up to me and, dude, like the saddest one when I was in Hermosa Beach and this. It's not sad. It's just this shit always hits me. But like this mother came up to me and was same whole story. Just like her son was relapsing like a bunch, and that he's been sober for X amount of months because of you, and fucking, it's just like, and that's around the time where I was going through a lot of shit, and like you said, like, am I making the right decision? And I remember I just like, that's all I needed. I was like, yep, I'm doing the right thing right now. Like,
because
not saying there's anything wrong with drinking.
Even if you just help that one kid, though, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like you said, not that there's any problem with drinking, but I do think that, like, at the end of the day, it is a behavior that if you let it get out of hand, it will negatively affect your life.
Yeah.
It could make you get a DUI that you shouldn't have got. It could make you make a decision. 100%. I mean, everyone's one decision away from fucking their whole entire life up at any given time, right? So it's like that your ability to make that fucked up decision is however much more likely because you're intoxicated, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
that's where the anxiety comes from, because it's the like, yeah, like I get it. I'm sober now, and I think it's just a tick that I've brought over, but the idea of crashing my car or doing, like, it's just like 1 second you could ruin your fucking life. And I think that if you are living that lifestyle, there's nothing wrong with drinking, but if you're deep into it where you're fucking doing it every day or you're blacking out a lot, dude, like, you slip up once, it's just...
Yeah, because when you, like, we've all had
scary.
Those nights or those friends where you black out drunk and you literally say, I don't know what happened last night. Imagine not knowing what happened the entire night and day prior because you were so fucked up. You could have did anything.
That was my problem. I was a blackout drunk. Like, I don't know if I was really an alcoholic. I was a fucking just like, I was a life of the party. So if I was gonna drink, I would just drink. And it's interesting to just kind of see how the world has turned in the last 3 years in terms of, like, just everything. Obviously, COVID was crazy, but you guys, I want to say the tail end of what before you had kind of stepped away was those early COVID videos. Yeah. Which were great because vicariously living in LA, watching you guys party in, like, the Ozarks or wherever the fuck you guys were, was sick. How, like, were those like that had to be a stressful time to shoot because we don't know all the information. Everyone's freaking the fuck out. I mean, I think fast forward to now, we probably have all come to the conclusion that everything's all right, and if you get COVID, chances are you'll be okay. Yeah, if you're healthy. It's probably a cold. We're fine.
Right. Yeah. But at that time, it's like peak hysteria, like early peak hysteria.
Oh yeah.
And you guys are hitting the road, doing these weekend fucking just insane binges.
There's only so many lecture videos you can do, and like we were doing a lot of like.
You guys
Zoom
are doing a lot of the popping in on the Zooms.
Yeah.
And So like, what was it like hitting the road during that time? Like, was everyone freaked out, like worried about catching COVID, or did?
I don't think so. I mean, we had a massive team, so we were still taking, like, I would love to know what we spent on just testing and like.
Right, because everybody had to test.
Yeah, we were testing all the time.
And the early tests were expensive.
Oh yeah, it was crazy.
You couldn't go to Walgreens and get a test.
Yeah, but we had to keep the company going. It kind of reminds me of like UFC and what they did. They were like the one organization that was like, we're not going to just like say fuck the rules, but we're going to like find a way to make this work because I'm running a company.
WWE did that too, yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, they had like it was kind of corny. Like WrestleMania during the pandemic was like a ring surrounded by a bunch of screens of fans watching on Zoom.
Oh, so it looked like real fans in the...
Kind of. I mean, it just looked like thousands of people sitting in their chair on their webcam. So it kind of... But there was no noise, so there's no crowd noise or anything.
Oh, fuck.
So it's like quiet people just hitting the mat, and then you just see like people like react like a half a second late, you know, because like not everybody's got the best internet out there. And
that must have been weird for UFC when they were doing it in Vegas a lot.
Yeah.
Like imagine you're used to massive crowds reacting,
and it's just quiet.
Dead quiet. You can hear the other coach. You can hear your.
It almost
coach,
kind of feels like it could fuck your whole like.
Oh yeah.
If you're like used to fighting that like with the noise and shit, and it's just dead quiet, like, and you could hear everything, like you could hear the commentators and shit. Like
it's a little too. I'm gonna say serious, but I mean when we spar every Friday, and like you got tunes on. There's people like it's a vibe. I couldn't imagine just dead quiet. Two people trying to kill each other in a chicken cage.
Are you doing jujitsu?
Mostly just striking, so kickboxing, boxing,
like Muay Thai type
wrestling.
shit, or just whatever. Just
mixed striking. Muay Thai definitely.
Yeah.
Like it's like very useful style, but I really want to start doing a little bit more ground game and just maybe even a day a week jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, my boy. So I train in the morning. I don't do jiu-jitsu, but I work out with my guy, S.Dot, at a jiu-jitsu gym.
Oh, nice.
And so I just don't know if I could roll around with another grown man in some of those compromising positions.
No one talks about how it's pretty gross, too.
And
like you're covered in sweat.
And you're sweating.
And there's staph infection. That's part of that culture.
Ringworm.
Yep. And someone comes in, they got a Band-Aid on their neck, and you're like, oh, cool. Like,
it's like,
it's gnarly.
you know, like dudes will sweat in your mouth. Like, unfortunately, it's like unavoidable.
Well,
right?
jiu-jitsu gyms, it's normally like 20 dudes, 10 people, you know, like, I don't know if they call it sparring in jiu-jitsu.
I think they call it rolling.
Or rolling, yeah. But then they'll go, okay, to switch partners. So now you're just like covered in sweat on a sweaty mat.
Like
and you're just,
everyone's sweat is cross-pollinated at some certain.
It's gnarly. You have to buy like special soap to like, it's like, I forget what it's called, but.
It's almost like you're very dependent on a lot of people to be taking care of their hygiene at a high level.
100%.
And the chances of that being the case are very slim.
Yeah.
Because people are dirty as fuck.
I recommend just finding your cool group of people that you love and training with them. Yeah, that's what I do.
Like this morning, one of the guys who's the main coach it's a place called Legacy in Burbank. He always comes in and talks shit to me because he says I look like some fucking bald fighter. I don't know. And so I went to go back and talk shit to him. But he was rolling, and he had this dude on top of him with his legs open, and I was just like, Jesus. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, man. Like, I get the striking. I get the Muay Thai, the fighting, you know. But jiu-jitsu is it's a special kind of dedication.
Well, isn't it weird that hobbies and sports have to feel cool for you to be interested? Like in a weird way. Like I skated my whole life, but I wonder if how much % of that was because skateboarding felt cool. Like
it was during that era. It was the shit.
Yeah, and I think that
Tony
striking
and
boxing feels cool. Like I don't.
It's the cool thing right now for sure. I feel like and that you're right. Like I kind of feel like MMA. Like even my kid who just turned 18 asked me. He's a big UFC fan. He was just like, hey, you know, can you see how much it would cost to put me in? Because he plays basketball and stuff, but he wants to do jiu-jitsu. Yeah, and I was like, you know, it's pretty gnarly. I mean, I'm all for it because I know it. You know, with any sort of martial arts, there's a certain level of discipline that comes with it and camaraderie, and it's good for you. You know, for you, like you don't necessarily like. Do you have like I wouldn't say a sensei, but do you have like do you train like to like level up in belts, or are you just kind of doing it strictly as like a passive hobby? Like we spar, we hang out, like I work on
just I have a coach and stuff, but there's no belts in what I'm doing or anything, but. Yeah, there's no real goal. I just love it. I'm only 2 years in, but
Are you skating more or?
Yeah, trying to. I took a little break there, and I'm trying to make like at least like 2 days a week. I mean, I have a fucking ramp at my warehouse. Use it, you know, like.
Dude, I don't know if you've been to Azumi's recently, but I went, and they have the fucking OG Osiris's in there.
Oh, the big chunky ones.
The big chunky Osiris's, the D3s, they're in there, and they have like.
And they're making a comeback.
All like the ES shoes, like they have like
Muska just dropped one with ES.
I'm like, yo, this is the same fucking shit. Like they're just it's almost like vintage Jordans.
Yeah.
Like they're retroing all these skate shoes from like when I was in high school and in middle school. And it's just crazy to see because like even some of the like Balenciagas, which I think are fucking gross, but even like some of those high-end brands, they're just stealing like what these skate brands were doing in the fucking late 90s, early 2000s.
Well, I think it's dumb on there. Like I've seen all the designer brands drop their $1,200 basically Osiris and D3s, but like they don't. If they think they're gonna grab the poorer skate culture market by doing that, those guys are like no. Like I don't know. I think it's just a dumb. It's like maybe the people that want to bite on that skate culture will wear them, but no skater's buying an $1,100 pair of knockoff heavy. They're like bricks too. I've tried putting them on and they're fucking like
they're almost like so what am I supposed to do with these? Like no,
shoes are weird when you get into high end. Like they actually become uncomfortable. They're fucking I don't know. Like they still like these. I wear these a lot. These are Saint Laurent, but they're the simplest like designer shoe I could find that feels like
Vans,
like a nice Vans. You know what I mean?
They're nice Van,
but they still scuff the same. I would rather have a brand new pair of Vans every month than having one of these scuffed up in a month for a year. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, I haven't yet. I don't have any designer shoes. I only have Jordans and Dunks and Vans.
stay that way. They're fucking.
It.
I've tried to dabble in them when I was building that. Like I was making my own shoe, and I bought every single pair.
You know what's crazy is how truly impossible it feels to start a new shoe company.
Oh, that's insane.
It's almost like an impenetrable market. That it's like almost impossible to get a market share to make it worth all of the while and all of the overhead, because shoes are not like, there's t-shirt brands that print to order, right?
Yeah.
You can't do that with a shoe.
Yeah.
So no matter what, you're sitting on a size run.
Yeah.
So and I've seen friends of mine who have started independent shoe companies that are fucking awful, and they just eat shit on it. Because it's like, dude, you had to print out, you had to get however many pairs of these shoes made.
Dude, I know everything about this. There's a reason why there's like 6 companies controlling the whole market. It's fucking, like a mold is $5,000 to $15,000 per size. So you go in and you got 13 sizes, you got half sizes. Like you can do the math. Like if you don't have $500,000 to,
you're not even in the game to even like try.
And then where if they don't hit, like it's the whole thing. So, but we've like, there's nothing really public about what we were doing, but. Dude, we're almost going, it's nothing visually looking like a Croc, but the Croc business model is kind of what we're seeing something. There's something there. We're trying to make like the next, like what in 10 years will be the next Vans or Air Force One, the simple everyday man's shoe.
Well, I was going to say, it's funny because like any of the new shoes that have spiked up have you seen those like bubble slides?
Oh, yeah,
They're like super cheap on Amazon. My kid has like 9 pairs of them because he sees them on YouTube and TikTok. And so that's the most inexpensive, basic.
Yeah.
Same thing with a Croc.
Yeah.
Like it's inexpensive, basic. If you're going to try to compete with like Jordan, like good luck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not going to be easy. Yo, we got to stop the interview again and tell you about our folks at Odd Socks, baby. That's right. Shout out to Odd Socks, man. The most comfortable socks in the world. They've been riding with us since day one. And let me tell you something, man. Christmas time is really sneaking up. Oddsocksofficial.com. Use the promo code BOOTLEG. Save 20% off at checkout. They got the crazy licenses. Check out these Naruto socks. Fucking fire. Little SpongeBob socks. You know what I'm saying? How about this? How about the How High movie socks? They got the WWE. They got the motherfucking Cheeto socks. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the motherfucking Cheeto socks. They just dropped their Monopoly line, too. I'm waiting for them to send them to me. Ahmad, send me the Monopoly shit, buddy. All right? Also, the Odd Socks Basics. These are my favorites. They're just normal, just, the most comfortable socks you've ever put on your feet is really what they are. Get them black, white, red, fucking tie-dye, whatever you're into. And they got the underwear, baby. Little Reese's Boys. Let's go. Oddsocksofficial.com. Use the promo code BOOTLEG. They got South Park underwear, too. All the licenses, WWE, Scarface, Breaking Bad, South Park, Power Rangers, Monopoly, Coca-Cola. They got it all. Use that promo code BOOTLEG and save 20% off at checkout. Also, want to give a shout out to our sponsor. Much love to our good folks at Blue Chew. That's right. We talk about it all the time on the podcast. When you go to BlueChew.com right now, you can get your first month for free. A lot of people ask, well, what is Blue Chew and does it work? Well, Blue Chew, it has the same active ingredient as Viagra and Cialis. The only difference is you don't have to go to the doctor. It's all online. You go to BlueChew.com, you get your shit handled over there, and then they get you handled by sending you a month for free when you use the promo code BOOTLEG. BlueChew.com, promo code BOOTLEG. Try out Blue Chew. It'll have your dick harder than it's ever been. It's like trigonometry in high school, real hard. If you're dealing with any sort of erectile dysfunction, Blue Chew will have you right. Like I said, same active ingredient as Viagra and Cialis, minus the awkward doctor's appointment. Everything's online. And if you're asking, well, I don't know, man. I just don't know. Try it out for free for a month. They'll send you a month's supply for free right to your doorstep in discreet packaging. Blue chewable form. It's a little chewable, man. You take that thing down and then you go to Pound Town. Take your shorty to Pound Town, goddammit. BlueChew.com. Use that promo code BOOTLEG. Try it for free for a month. Let's get back to the interview.
I think it's about simplicity,
for sure.
Price point, and wearability
too. Because people start new shoe companies and they try to do too much.
That's what I was going to bring up. Is everyone I know that starts their own shoe company does way too much, and they try to be different. And then everyone even if they do pop, they're cool for a fucking month, and then no one cares, and you're stuck with a bunch of molds. And it's like, I think you gotta simplify it but be unique. Like what is actually missing in the shoe industry? You know what I mean? So
100%. And with any industry, I think people should ask themselves that question. You know what I'm saying? So,
100%. I'm definitely gonna send you one of the samples coming because I want to see.
Okay.
I need some opinions from all different cultures of
shit. Let me know, man. I will wear a 12.
A 12?
I'm a 12.
Got you.
Depends on if they're the Asian sizes, because if you ever get bootleg shoes,
oh really?
they got the Chinese size. The Chinese size. This is an
You're
actual
a size
thing.
17?
No, they're smaller.
Oh really?
Yeah, like if you get like a Chinese extra large, it's like a medium.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like if you're like a fat fuck
Yeah.
and you want to wear fake Gucci, good luck. They're not making Chinese 5XL.
Oh, so if you see a fat person wearing Gucci, you know they
squeezed
balled
in, and
out.
you're like, they didn't make that shirt that big. They didn't make that shirt that big. That's another thing. Like I saw my boy Glasses Maloney. He was doing this interview, and he was talking about Rick Ross, who's a big guy.
Yeah.
And he was like, and this was before Rick Ross lost all his weight, but he pointed out, he was like, fam, everyone's wearing fake shit. Louis don't even make the shirt in the size Rick Ross wears.
Yeah.
Like they don't make it. Like they're not making it just for him. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Which is crazy. I was gonna say for you, man, like talk about, I think it's important for people to find things that they can gravitate to that kind of, I guess double as a form of therapy. You know what I mean? Obviously you're sparring, you're doing your MMA shit, you skate, stuff that is obviously away from work, because I'm sure you're a workaholic. I'm a workaholic. We both bust our ass.
Yeah.
But like for you, talk about the therapeutic release that you get from like some of the hobbies that you've picked up, and obviously we've seen.
Probably, it's all of it. Fucking running's a big one, but
Running
I think
sucks.
Dude, until you get into it, I fucking hated running. I hated runners. I thought the whole thing was so lame. I think I'm a skater. I'm short. I'm built like a cylinder block.
You're like,
I'm
dude,
like,
you're running.
Like go do something fun.
Like, why do you have Brooks shoes on?
Yeah.
And that,
speaking of that, my first 3 months of getting into running, I wore Vans until my fucking knees and hips and everything started fucking
You were wearing
up.
Vans?
I ran in Vans.
What?
Even right now, I think I'm running in a basketball shoe. I don't know. I just
I know people like to lift weights.
Can't wear a
in
running
Vans.
shoe.
You can't wear a running shoe.
I'm not a running shoe guy.
There's those really fat shoes. Are they called hookahs or hokas?
Yeah. See, I bought a pair of those. I just felt goofy in them.
They definitely look goofy. You felt goofy because you looked goofy in them.
Yeah.
But the practicality of them is supposed to be you can run in them. And I do know fat people like my boy Jelly Roll. Shout out my brother Jelly Roll.
Oh, he's the man.
That is one of his go-to shoes.
Really?
Because they're very comfy.
I think it goes back to what I was saying with the sparring and boxing. It's if I don't feel, it's not about looking cool, but if I don't feel cool in what, it's not even cool, it's not the right word, but just I remember I'd go skate and you put on a dope outfit. You're like, I'm going to feel cool.
Right.
And I have to fucking feel that when I'm going running too. It's I don't know.
You guys should do a Apple Watch band, a Sunday one.
Yeah?
I think so.
Do they change? Because we stayed away from iPhone cases and shit for that reason.
They don't. So, no. No, not in the same way an iPhone changes.
Okay.
So, I bought these bands, I think can fit 3 generations of.
Oh, nice.
Now, the Apple Watch bands are pretty universal because they really only change the.
Until next year.
Are they changing it big time?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, until you decide to do a Sunday one, and then they're
they make a little incision and then that goes into your wrist.
Yeah, these things just slide in and out. But
let me take a photo of your wrist so that I remember, because it is a good idea. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I think
in
it'd
the
be cool.
Pantone.
I love just in a green. What? That should have pop any outfit. Yeah, was there a color that you almost was it always greenish blue, or was there ever a peachy red or something that y'all fucked with?
No, it was always green. It came from Army Men. When I was a kid, I always played with toy Army Men, and that was originally where I really liked it. And then I just also did a lot of research on, has anyone coined a color like this? Because I really wanted people to see that color.
The only brand that I've ever seen do it is Cookies. Do you know Cookies?
Yeah.
Cookies has the Cookies blue.
Yeah. Okay. I know
which they've done a really good job. If you go to a Cookies dispensary, the building is blue.
Yeah.
Right? But it's a specific just unique blue. I'm assuming, did you guys just throw paint together until you got the color, or was it like...
It started digital, so everything was from graphic design.
Right.
And then the first thing that it transferred to was fabric, so doing a cotton t-shirt, which was a
you
fucking...
also kind of don't know like how it's going to like look when you...
Oh, 100%. It's
the shirt.
Dude, like there's, 15 of these shopping bags at our place, all in slightly different shades. Everything's a battle until you figure it out, but then it's like, say you figure out cardboard or cardstock. Now it's like for any other item that needs that, you've got packaging figured out.
Figured out.
Yeah. So we're kind of building like a Pantone book for our company, so it's easier.
You mentioned buying your house, fixer upper. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Since you obviously sold your part of Full Send and NELK, what has been the most ignorant purchase you've made? And if not ignorant, just the biggest outside of your home, because your home is obviously your home. That's a fucking nut for sure.
Dude, literally nothing. I'm trying to think. I have not gone crazy or...
You haven't bought...
The home was the thing. That's all I wanted. I wanted a home. And I'm trying to think. I mean, everything is just... I've got over $1 million invested into my company.
Just reinvesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't really need a lot of shit. I got a truck, but I was still in the company when I got that. Got an old
your G-Wagon?
Chevy.
Well, you had a G-Wagon, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, I had a G-Wagon. I sold that.
Tax write-off, 6,000 pounds.
Yeah, that was sick. I got a G-Wagon off of, what's it called? Auctions.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got it for like 91 grand. Drove it for 2 years. Got to experience the whole G-Wagon.
And you get to write it off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then sold it for $100K 2 years later.
Made money on it. Got to keep it. Hey, everybody always talks about it. Just one of those cars you grew up looking at.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you just got a big Chevy truck now?
Yeah. Got a C10 and then a Tesla as an everyday.
How do you like the Tesla?
I'm up and down on it. I mean, I think...
You got a Model X?
I always get this wrong. I have the doors don't go up. That's the Y.
You have the Model S?
I think I have the X.
Y. Well, the X is the one where the doors go up.
Okay, I have the Y.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the Y. Because it's like stubbier. It's almost like SUV kind of. Yeah.
No, the X is like the actual SUV, but the doors pop open. The X is like the super expensive one.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I have the Y.
I've been extremely on the fence about it, man. Like I've test drove one and I'm like, this is cool. It's also very like it has to be weird to get used to driving that car because there's buttons instead like the stuff you're used to like conventionally.
The braking system is weird.
It's just everything's just different, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
but once you get used to it, it does become. It's not in the realm of cars. It's just once you have one, every other car feels weird. It's like weird.
I was gonna say because like even like saving money on gas, it's like. Do you notice? I mean, you're doing pretty well, but I think like do you think the everyday person notices that like
100%.
They don't have to fill up their tank, but
get a fucking charger here. You just plug it in every time you pull in.
I was gonna say, but then if you go on a road trip, you got to kind of.
Oh yeah, there's times where you're like, fuck this Tesla. I've been stranded in Arizona and shit before. It's like, because the thing is when that thing shuts off and runs out of juice.
You've ran out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I had as worse as you can get, where the point where it ran out and it's just got the hazards on, but it took so long for a truck to come.
The hazards turned off.
Yeah. Like even the backup little battery died. So now you can't even shut the windows. You can't even if I got it to a charger and I couldn't even get it to start charging because you can't get the door open. So it was like an 8-hour thing. It was like, I was like, why is this even a thing? Like, why would they make it where this can happen?
I would just be like, fuck this car.
Oh,
I'm getting I'm going to drive my Chevy everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Every gas guzzling car you see going by, you're like, I fucking just wish I could just...
See, that you might have just sealed the deal for me. Fucking Tesla talk.
Everyday LA driving, though, I will say it's nice.
Yeah, like if you're just driving around you plug it in at night, I'm sure it's fucking wonderful.
Have another car for road trips and shit like that. That'd be good.
Jesus, man. That's crazy. I was going to ask you... when you were with those guys, Steiny wasn't around, right?
No. I think he was working for
Steve.
No, he might have worked for Steve too at a certain point. God, why am I blanking on his name? Jesus, he started the podcast with Kyle.
John, is that his name?
No,
the rich dude.
He was a host on the Full Send show.
Oh,
Bob Menery.
That guy's a fucking sick ass dude, bro.
Yeah. He's hilarious.
He's just like unstable. Like he's a wild boy. Oh, the remote. Are you cold? Are you freezing? Usually you wouldn't complain if something was blowing on you. Hey, you're like, hey, bro, it's too cold in here. No, that's crazy. Yeah. So he was working for Bob initially. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Were you able to kind of like, I watching that podcast, by the way, it made me realize he's not like a real like OG like NELK fan.
Yeah. He didn't know too much.
He didn't know shit. I was like, how do I know more about this shit than this kid? He works for them. At least if I was a part of that podcast, I would be well versed.
Yeah.
I would have to go back and do my research, But did you game him up at all? Because he gets a ton of hate. Like, people genuinely don't gravitate towards him in a positive manner.
Yeah. But I mean, he was nice to me.
No, he seems like a nice dude. But I'm saying, did you give him any advice? Did you guys have any like side talks? Like, hey man, how are you liking this? Like, because he is kind of like an unofficial NELK boy now, or official, however you want to look at it. Mm-hmm. He's part of the podcast.
Yeah.
I get confused what's what at this point anymore.
I didn't have too much of a like deep talk with him, but we had a small talk and he was cool. But yeah, I don't even know if that's like sometimes I don't know if it's like a persona he's playing and then people will come at him for that, or if it's like
I don't think it is.
I think he's new to the game. That's what I think. That's all I can read.
And it happened for him quick.
Yeah. And I think he's going through all of it, yeah.
Got dumped on his plate very fast. And I think anytime that happens to anybody, no matter where you're at, it might be the music industry, the entertainment industry, a lot, certain people aren't built, and I'm not saying he's not, but I'm saying like when that much clout and fame gets just handed to you
100%
quickly, man, that's a lot.
No one can prepare you for that.
Nothing can, you just got to kind of get through it.
That's why I would be the last person to go on the pod and fucking take shots at Steiny or anything.
What about Salim? Do you keep in contact with Salim at all?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
No one. It's not like a weekly thing or anything. Right. But no, all friendly. He trains jiu-jitsu, so we've talked a few times.
Oh, that's dope.
Get some sparring in or something. But
are you gonna try to do Shithole again?
I think later down the road, it'd be cool. Like right now I'm worrying about get this company profitable, get everything, we're just grinding right now. Yeah. That's all we're doing. So
grind mode.
And my problem is that I start too many projects. So I'm trying to like narrow in on what I'm focused on. But I think it would just be cool, even if it's not like doesn't make sense financially to do it. It's just if we get the company at a certain point for the OG fans, and I would love doing it. Like I think it's so fun. You
enjoy it,
yeah. Just doing another season and building that team out. Like,
and you guys do like you're. I mean, like when you did it last time, you were very much. It was a high production value situation.
Yeah,
you guys were like, there was actors. I mean, I think of the. We were talking about the Gramps guy, and there was the one episode where you were at a biker bar.
Oh yeah, with Chuck Liddell.
Yeah, with Chuck Liddell. Which was fucking
great.
Crazy. But I think that, like, that's the way to do it. Like, I mean, did you see this kid that just got shot doing a prank in the mall?
I heard about this.
Fucking crazy. And, like, he's doing, like, some Salim type of shit. Like, just getting too close to someone's personal space. They tell him to stop. He does it again.
Yeah, be careful with that.
And the dude pulls out a gun and shoots him.
Fuck. Did he die?
He did not die.
Oh, that's good.
But the dude who shot him, they dropped the charges. Because they're like, he warned you, like, leave me alone, and you didn't. And I think it might have been in Florida. Now, if that happened in California,
he'd be fucked, yeah. Texas or Florida, you're probably pretty safe.
Yeah, in California, if someone breaks into your house and you shoot them, you're fucked. You got to kindly ask them to leave.
Yeah. I don't like that about I love California, but
I love
even being a homeowner now, I'm a little like...
Exactly.
This should be like my domain. I fucking work my ass off.
And a financially successful person... You probably have to do a ton of gymnastics to, make sure you keep your money.
Yeah, 100%.
But you come from Canada, which, from what I understand, there's high taxes in Canada, which is why there's great health infrastructure and certain things, right?
Yeah, I can't even remember. Is it province by province in Canada?
Dude, I don't fucking know.
I think it is. I know.
All I know is...
Ontario is definitely high.
Nobody likes Trudeau, is what I've heard.
I've heard that, too. And I know zero about politics.
I specifically know. All I know is you can get free health care, and people don't like Justin Trudeau. And he was wearing blackface. And Jordan Peterson is something's going on with his social media.
That shit looks. I don't know enough to talk about it, but because I like Jordan Peterson, but
No, I love Jordan Peterson. I think
I'm
he's
stripping him of his shit for like just talk, like
just for showing his perspective on like podcasts. And I think in Canada they're about to implement a law that like can. There's some sort of law that they're
like the shit Joe Rogan was talking about. It's like
essentially where they
it affects your life if you talk about shit that like they don't want you talking about.
That social credit score shit Joe Rogan's always talking
exactly.
about. And they're doing that with Jordan Peterson. If I'm Jordan Peterson, I'm fucking moving out of Canada.
Yeah.
I'm moving to, they love him in Texas. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Jesus. Did you guys ever, like something off the record? Well, we'll talk about it. We'll delete it if you don't want to talk about it. But when you had initially broken away, you and I were talking about you wanting to start maybe like a Netflix-style content company. And you were throwing around some names that you were in talks with, a guy like Tim Dillon. This was early on before Tim Dillon was fucking huge.
Yeah.
Whatever happened with that? And if you don't want to talk about it, it's fine. We'll cut it out. But I know that was like a thing that... you know what I'm talking about, though?
I'm trying to think of where that conversation was.
We were talking about...
So many ideas.
Well, we were just like... We were doing the pranks and shit, and you were like, man, like, you know, I'm going to be doing like... You wanted to kind of have your own on-demand content shit, and you said that you were going to start working with like certain comedians and shit. And I think Tim Dillon might have been one of them.
That might have been under NELK. I think
it was, for sure. It was for sure, because this was around that same time where you were still filming on the Full Send channel, I believe, right?
Yeah. We were. I think that was building pretty much like an R-rated YouTube at the time. Was
so
like,
kind of like Rumble.
Yeah. But not so much that everyone could upload on it. It was just another place you can go. Maybe it is a paywall. Like we were looking at a bunch of things of just, because I think at the time when we were talking about that, we were getting strikes. There was a lot of shit going on where YouTube didn't look like a future home for what we were doing, and it was like, and we had a huge audience. And we were like, why don't we just
because what happens if they do what they do to Steve to you guys?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, did you guys ever get any of your? Because I always wonder if you get one of those strikes, is it even possible to get it removed?
I can't remember. I think it may be time, like if a certain amount of time.
Off.
Yeah, I think it's like but I don't know. I know that once a channel gets flagged and striked, it's
none of the shithole pranks ever got hit in terms of
probably some copyright shit and stuff, but nothing serious. I don't think I've ever gotten a strike.
That's dope. Well, so for you now, where can people support what you're doing? Obviously, with IG, the website, how often are you dropping? How can people support?
Just on YouTube. If you want to like follow the story we're building, like you said, it's kind of cool to and even right now, if you jump in, I feel like it's still the beginning stages, and it will be cool in 5-10 years to be like, damn, I saw like the first people like grinding this out. But every Sunday we upload an episode on the Sunday channel on YouTube, and Sunday Bloody Sunday Instagram.
What's your guys' website?
BloodySunday.com.
Was that hard to get?
Yeah.
How much was it?
$25,000.
Yeah, it's not
too bad.
25?
Yeah.
Who would you have to buy it off of?
Fuck, I don't know.
Like what? Do you know what it was before?
No, I think it was just someone sitting on domains.
Such a great hustle, by the way.
Yeah.
When you buy up domains, super slept on hustle.
Oh yeah.
Because there's so many like web like domains that you would think there's some like you will go to like you'll like type it in. Like I remember one time I was just tweaking with my boy, not literally tweaking on drugs, but we're just going to different like obvious.coms.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, there's not like someone's about to eat whenever this comes out. Like Bloody Sunday.
Yeah.
We should start doing that, Cyrus. Start buying URLs. Just sitting on them.
I got a quote for Sunday.com, which is fucking obviously hard as shit.
7 figures?
It was, they said 500K and up would be, you'd have to be like in that ballpark to even start the conversation. But obviously at the time, like there's no need to do it. But
and right now, Sunday.com is nothing?
Yeah, we are SundayStudios.com.
But I mean
but Sunday right now.
The people who own it, if you go to Sunday.com, is it something?
You know what's funny is Sunday.com isn't anything, but if you type in Sunday.com, it redirects you to like another word Sunday, and it's like that grass lawn company that's called Sunday. There's like a grass fertilizer company.
Oh, so they're not even using it.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know because it redirects to another website. But how does that even make sense? Like it should go to Sunday.com and be like, this domain's for sale. but it instantly redirects. So maybe they own both and they haven't.
500K, eventually you're going to have to buy it if you guys get big enough.
I think, but I'd have to find I'd be more interested in the App Store. That'd be more for my 10-year plan of what I want to build here. I think that something kind of like what we were talking about, it's like something in the world of building your own subscription service type thing. And I think Sunday would be a great name for that. So
great name. Yeah. I mean, if you were to kind of say, hey, Sunday is everything, we have a platform, and the platform is Sunday.com.
Yeah.
Just the simplicity of that.
Sunday on the App Store, it's just a color, no logo. Like, I think there's so many spider webs to where I see this going in 10 years, but yeah, that's definitely on the horizon.
Well, listen, like you said, don't take on too much at once.
Yeah. One thing at a time.
You have a lot going on. All right, look, go support. I appreciate you pulling back up, man. This guy, for a long time, was that interview you did for me, man, was our most viewed interview for. I think it might still be.
Really?
The single most viewed upload. The clip of you talking about leaving NELK was this. I think it's the single most viewed clip that's not a short on our channel still, but.
Right place, right time, though. I think it was just
man.
It was good conversation.
I appreciate you coming through again, man. Shit. Congrats on everything, dude. It's just dope to kind of see, like, I like when people reinvent themselves, and I think that the brand is super fly, man. So
thanks, man. Appreciate it.
It's not cheesy. You're doing it the right way, and I appreciate you bringing some gear and stuff. And how often are you dropping like new pieces for people to buy? Is it monthly?
Yeah, it'll be every month. There's a new collection, and then we also do a giveaway for one Sunday SKU every month.
And then you guys like buried like a fucking giant wood box of shit.
We get creative with it. So we literally just factor it as a tax on the company, meaning like we want to create good culture and cool shit and fun shit. So
you could write it off. Like,
it's not even the write off. It's almost like I'm more saying a tax as in like. It's important for what I'm doing here. So like if I have to buy $10,000 worth of Sunday hoodies and just give them away for free, it's like, fuck it. Like,
you guys buried like a giant wooden crate or 2 or 3.
Yeah, in the desert. Yeah.
Just like a beast of a fucking crate.
Yeah. And it's only for like on bloodysunday.com, when you go there, it's just a closed site. But if you sign up for email and SMS, that's the only way you get a part of it.
So you can get a heads up where it might be.
Yeah. So that month was surprise was you got 3 clues slowly throughout the week where you had to, and then everyone was trying to find out where it was.
Is it always in Cali?
That giveaway?
Yeah.
No, it can be anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know you guys are, based here, obviously.
Yeah.
So I figured Cali or Palm Springs, Joshua Tree,
Yeah.
Was that where it was?
It was real like north from here. I can't even fucking remember. It was like some dunes.
Oh, the dunes.
Was that maybe? Yeah.
There's dunes everywhere, but there's some popular dunes. Glamis is the main one that's like really big.
I luckily got out of burying that one.
Yeah.
Had some
what you got
staff
employees
doing it.
for, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, I appreciate you pulling up, Jesse, man. Go support my guy, Bloody Sunday, bloodysunday.com.
Yeah.
Boom, my guy.
Fuck yeah.
Fire. What's going on, man? I want to shout out to our family, Hardeen, for presenting to you another interview. All right? There's another interview coming tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Shout out to Hardeen, though, if you're in Las Vegas, man. The #1 dispensary in the world. They're our family. They're our brothers. They're our fucking dogs over there, man. We love them. They always are taking care of us, and they'll take care of you. If you go to Hardeen in Vegas, let's say you're landing in Vegas, you're going to go watch the Raiders, you're going to go watch a Vegas show, whatever, get in that taxi, tell them straight up, take me to Hardeen. When you get to Hardeen, they will get you hooked up with the craziest just variety and selection of premium cannabis on the planet. And if you tell them you heard about us on the Bootleg Kev show, you say, hey, Hardeen, I heard about y'all on the Bootleg Kev podcast. They're going to take care of y'all, all right? So go follow them, Hardeen_Las Vegas on all social media, and check them out, HardeenLasVegas.com. What's up, Hardeen?